Let's talk some sports, baby.
Taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by Jones.
And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.
All right, guys, we're almost done with the 2020 NFL draft grades. So far, we've covered the AFC and NFC East, North, and South. So, as you might guess, today is time for the West divisions. We'll begin with the AFC West. Chargers got their franchise quarterback. The Raiders made, Raiders picks. The Broncos drafted half a new offense. And the Chiefs, well, they're still really good. So, Drake, we'll start with you and the Chargers. What'd you think of their draft?
Well, I gave the draft a B-. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't spectacular either. We go with the first pick, Justin Herbert, the quarterback out of Oregon. They took him with their sixth pick. Look, the cat got great size. He got a pro-ready frame. I got that. He got a rocket arm that can, get over safeties and that can fit into tight windows, keep him alive, all good to go. But listen, he still needs to work on his ball placement. One of many things, but the thing I've seen the most is he just don't throw an accurate ball. He throws a strong ball, but not an accurate ball. So that's one of the bigger things I see he's going to need to really hone into on the professional level. Then their number 2 pick, Kenneth Murray, the linebacker out of Oklahoma. They took him with the 23rd pick. Look, he is very decisive. He's willing to take chances when roaming that middle of the field. He got ridiculous range from sideline to sideline. But with that said, he's a little small. He's a little bit on the small side that you want with your inside linebackers. So he must improve his strength and his hands usage when he's trying to get through, climb up those blocks and get to the quarterback. And then with the 3rd pick, Josh Kelly, the running back out of UCLA, they took him with the 112th pick. Listen, the guy can take a hit. I give him that. He can absorb a hit. He usually falls forward. Now, I wanted to say that, but I want to caveat that. Even though I like the fact that he falls forward a lot, I'm carrying out that with Big 12 play. I don't know if that's going to translate to the professional level. I'm just going off what I see him do. But he did fall forward. He didn't take many negative runs. He has a very strong lower body that helps him break through little weak, piss-poor arm tackles. So that's very good. And then, but the negative I got on him is, listen, he's going to have to change his running style in the pro level because when you take so many hits as we see with these pro athletes, you cannot keep that same bang, 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 bang run attitude that you had in college, because half of those guys probably was going to play baseball or racket or something. These guys are professional level football players. So there's only so many hits you're going to take before they have you over at the XFL trying to revive your career. So, yeah, I gave the Chargers a B- for this draft.
Yeah, I gave the Chargers a B- as well. Solid, but unspectacular overall. Justin Herbert, they obviously needed a quarterback. I'm not crazy about him, but obviously the best quarterback available. Kenneth Murray, their best pick, I believe. I think your point on his size is absolutely valid. But we watched a lot of Oklahoma games last year, and there were so many occasions where we like, who that number 9 out there? Oh, Kenneth Murray. Oh, my God. We talk about just a guy flashing on film. All right, that guy absolutely above and beyond stood out above any player on an Oklahoma defense. Fun to watch. I think he's going to be great out in L.A. with the Chargers. And then Joshua Kelly, I talking about, look, you're going to need more than Austin Eckler. I don't care how much you pay him. He just doesn't have the size to be able to run between the tackles, get those tough yards. I think Josh Kelly could be a good complement to him. In the later rounds, Joe Reed and KJ Hill, I think Joe Reed's going to add some juice to the return game. I think he could line up across the formation and in the backfield for you. And then KJ Hill, I saw some 3rd-round grades on him. So to get him in the 7th round, that's what's known as a steal.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page you guys as far as the Chargers draft goes. It's really dependent, obviously, on how Herbert works out. I've said my piece on him in the pre-draft stuff. I wouldn't have taken him if I was them. Just nothing about him strikes me as a guy I don't strike me as a guy who's going to dominate the NFL level. When you're picked 6 overall, that's what we expect. I've seen plenty of big frame, big arm type dudes. Give me Joe Burrow's cool and decision making. Give me Tua's leadership and clutchness. And Herbert, I don't know. I didn't see it. I thought the gap between the first 2 quarterbacks that were taken and Herbert was pretty wide, and the Chargers Chargers basically just drafted a need over the best player available. Now, further down, I agree. I really like Kenneth Murray. He's an absolute stalker in the middle of the field. He's going to swarm gaps. He's going to get in the backfield. He's going to make plays. He's going to make that Chargers defense, is, by the way, really good already, even that much better. But we have to always factor in, looking at the business side of it, they did trade pick 37 and 71 to the Patriots to go get him. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to early on, especially outplay that big loss of value, losing both your second and third round picks. So we'll have to see on that. I thought the rest of the draft was fine. I like the Joe Reed pick from Virginia. You come back and you take that polar opposite of Reed and a catching machine like an KJ Hill. So you're going to keep that cupboard fully stocked of weapons for Herbert. So the day 3 value, I think, sort of offsets the day 1 sort of loss of value. And hopefully Murray can kind of buoy the class or Herbert works out. Until then, it's a C+ for me. All right, Jay, we got the Raiders up next. What do you think of the Mayock and crew out there?
As usual, or at least in the first 2 drafts of the Mike Mayock, John Gruden era, I'm wondering what's going on. I talked about the Henry Ruggs pick and the Damon Arnett pick already. Henry Ruggs, again, no problem with him as a player. I thought he was the 3rd best receiver in this draft. But you had Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb still available, and you passed on them. We'll see. Again, that's not the biggest problem in this draft. Damon Arnett, 2nd-round grade, and we're picking him 19th overall. Yep, not sure about that. Then we have Lynn Bowden, Brian Edwards. I don't know. I really don't. Tanner Muse and John Simpson, they went to Clemson, so they got drafted. I'm not sold on Tanner Muse. I don't care what his 40 time was. I'm still remember the ACC championship game. A lot of people on Clemson had a really good day. Tanner Muse was not one of them. He was getting abused in the middle of the field by Hasise Dubois, who, I don't know. I guess he can't get drafted, but that's all right. But by and large, I'm really not impressed with what I'm seeing in these drafts from the Oakland Raiders. This is a D draft. I don't like it.
Now, before I get into my pick, so are you saying that Dubois should have been drafted because that one game, or what are we saying?
Not just that one game. That was he performed very well, and I'll be honest with you, that's Virginia bias, but it's all right. I'm pretty sure he got picked up as an undrafted free agent, but
he's pretty good. I like him.
Okay. Listen, I was a little more optimistic about the Raiders draft. I gave my A-. Listen, their first pick, Henry Ruggs III, the wide receiver out of Alabama with the 12th pick. Hey, listen, he got game-breaking speed. That's first and foremost, game-breaking speed that's going to make you put a safety over the top of him every time. So that means the guy on the other side, listen, unless Henry Ruggs come out here and show his hands doesn't work, which I doubt, like I'm telling you, this guy is going to be the same effect that Tyreek Hill put for Kansas City. Now, the problem to me is it's not the fact that they got Ruggs. It's the quarterback that's going to be in charge of putting the ball in his hands. That's where, I'm a little like, eh. But as far as Ruggs being their first pick, I don't have a problem with it. And you get a 2-for-1. You get a very, very good kick returner as well. He's very outstanding in that department. It's just unfortunate. He went to Alabama with Jayden Waddle. And listen, Jayden Waddle is about as good as it gets in that position. So he kind of had split time with him. But this guy can take care of that department for you if you allow him to. But my one downfall with him is he could deal with physical he can have problems dealing with physical corners. Like if you got a corner like Brandon Browner, for example, back when he played, that's going to put his whole fist through your helmet. I don't know, how he's going to feel about that. I mean, to be honest, legally putting a lot of corners like to put their hands and knees and elbows and everything else on the wide receivers, and illegal, however you look at it, he can have a problem with that. He did not deal with that a lot in Alabama because his game-breaking speed, if you didn't press him, it was over. That second pick, Damon Arnett, the cornerback out of Ohio State with the 19th pick. Look, Jay was very clear with what he said, and I'm going to tell you right now, I agree with him. I don't know what the hell the Raiders was thinking with this. This is outrageous that they reached down and got this guy. Maybe Jeff Okudah, they seen him. They got confused. They're like, hey, get the Ohio State guy. Which one? Just get one. They Ohio State. Oh, okay, you sure him? Yeah, and they took him. I don't know. Now, I could be possibly wrong, but these one of those things, I'm like, oh, no, I think I'm right on this. Until I see otherwise, I think I'm right. But listen, the guy got experience as an inside and outside cornerback, so that's very good. You can put him in multiple positions on the defense. That's good. And he's a very, very, very good run supporter. He does not miss many tackles as a run supporter. You know, one thing with these cornerbacks is they don't like to hit. Like, it is the name of the game is to stop the wide receiver. So they don't really like to come up and try to hit that bruising running back that's streaking down the middle of the field. He is one of the few guys that play that position that will. But my knock on him is, listen, he hasn't even understand hip discipline yet. This is also a reason why I wonder why they drafted him so early. When you watch him play, he tells the wide receiver which way he's going to shift before the ball is even snapped. So the wide receiver just hit him with the dipsy do dungaroo, go right around him, and keep it going. And Jeff Okudah on the other side like, what is going on, man? What are you doing? Because he declares hips too early. So I don't know what the Raiders got going on, but listen, Mike Mayock, you do your thing. You and John Gruden, Viva Las Vegas, because y'all going to need it. And then with the third pick, Lynn Bowen, the wide receiver out of Kentucky with the 80th pick, got excellent vision, excellent toughness. He went to Kentucky, so he had to go and earn his stripes because there ain't a lot of people watching Kentucky football. So he had to go. He had to earn his stripes when he got a chance to. He got drafted pretty early. So let's see. He has a very, very low fumble rate. As a wide receiver, that's very important because wide receivers think because they catch the ball down the field, they can't get hit and fumble the ball. Yes, you can. He was one of the few guys, even though he was a high usage guy at Kentucky, he did not fumble much. That's a very excellent stat for the NFL. But listen, my knock on him is he seems to run every route he runs at the same speed. That ain't it. You can't run a slant the same speed you run out and up or out go. Like it's different stuff. Like the quarterback needs you to be at a certain speed so they can lead you, anticipate, do other things. If you're running all your routes the same, you might well be a running back there. That's what running backs do. So if you want to be in the backfield, you switch up your skill set. But if you're going to be a wide receiver, you got to, change up those speeds. So, yeah, with all that said, I gave the Raiders A-.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle, I guess. They got all their shopping done by day 2, which was kind of interesting. But, the Ruggs pick was a little surprising, but it's not crazy. I can see reaching for the ceiling of Ruggs, if you're not really reaching, but you know what I mean, going after that kind of high ceiling of him. Everybody wants that next Tyreek Hill. He could be that. Lamb and Judy are more polished, in my opinion, but you can't coach Ruggs' speed at all. And like Drink said before, this guy's not some one-gear bum with bricks for hands. He can play. He can do the other things that a receiver needs to do. It's just how good versus the other guys. But that pick was fine to me. But, yeah, the Arnett pick, like I said, was a huge reach. You consider what was still on the board with guys like Christian Fulton around, reaching all the way down to get him. Like, I mean, Ohio State's they had some cornerback talent lately, so – I don't know, maybe, but it's pretty egregious in my opinion. Some of the day 2 stuff was good. Like Jay said, they continue the meme of loading up with Clemson and Alabama players and only watching the national championships, and that's funny. But Amik Robertson from LA Tech in their 7th round, hey, he could actually be a steal. I like him a little bit. He kind of plays bigger than he is. But overall, you got some new weapons for your very questionable quarterback room. You got some defensive help. But to me, the value is just pretty low overall. I gave him a C+, but that might be being generous. We'll see. All right, Drink. So the Broncos are up next. What do you think of their draft?
Oh, I gave the Broncos an A+. I personally thought the Broncos had the best draft of all teams. I thought they did very, very well for what they needed. Let's get into it. With their first pick, they took Jared Judy, wide receiver out of Alabama, with the 15 overall pick. Listen, when it comes to route running, this is the best of the best. This is the Johnny Walker Blue label. This is the Kobe steak, however you want to put it. It's not a wide receiver in this draft. And if you think it is, come holler at your boy. You know what my username is. Go on, hit me up. And try to come and tell me that it's a better wide receiver that run when it comes to running routes. This guy was running NFL-level routes in college. That's why Tua loved him so much. And it's a doggone shame that Jalen Hurts didn't know what he had, or we would have had another championship had he known. But it is what it is. He's very good at securing the ball through punishment, meaning like he could take a short slant. And they say that cornerback is doing his job, and he slows them up, and he's holding on them and dragging them. He knows how to keep going without leaving that ball lagging and flopping around so you cause a fumble. But one of my downfalls, and it is a downfall, is he seems to drop very, very easy balls. One thing that makes you pull your hair out is when you look at Jared Judy, he's the type of guy that can catch the ball in between 3 defenders, and then the very next play he's wide open, nobody on him, and he just drops it. And then act like he pulled the hamstring. You've seen it against LSU. But either way, Very, very phenomenal pick. Broncos did outstanding with it. Those are things they could fix. And then with the second pick, they went wide receiver, which is outstanding. This is why I gave them an A+, because they knew what they needed help with, and they went for it. J.K. Hamler, the wide receiver out of Penn State with the 46th pick. Listen, he's an excellent field stretcher. If you watch him at Penn State, when he get in that slot and he going down, it's a wrap. You just better hope he get overthrown or something, because he usually burnt. I know this is the NFL, but this dude is fast. And just like Cody said, you can't teach speed. So this dude can move. He's very excellent in the jet sweep gadget packages, kind of like Tavon Austin was when he got drafted out of West Virginia. He wasn't known much as a wide receiver. He was that guy, kickoff returns, jet sweep, doing all these gadget trick plays. He's very good in those type of packages. So I'll be very interested to see if the Broncos use them in that manner. But my knock on him is he has a very smallish frame. It tends to not hold up in the NFL when you got these big defensive linemen, these linebackers hitting you constantly. You know what I'm saying? You better drink some milk. He needs some milk. So that's one thing to look at is his body frame. And then with the third pick, Michael Edamuje, I think that's how you say that.
Yep.
The cornerback out of Iowa with the 77 pick. He didn't allow many explosive plays when he was in college. Once again, I want to throw out my public service announcement. I don't know how Iowa get away with it. They got so much talent there, and they just get away with not doing anything in the Big Ten. I just don't know how Kirk Ferentz ain't fired yet. But he didn't allow many big plays, even though he played the upper echelons, the Ohio States and the Penn States. He didn't allow big plays. He has the ability to press and phase up in routes, meaning he can't get in the wide receiver's chest without getting penalized. He know how to run and phase with them, so that's very good. But my knock on him is this, that his ball instincts and tracking the ball in the air is below average. He can do all that, but as soon as the ball go in the air, he's on the sideline getting a Gatorade break. That ain't it, all right? He needs to work on where's the ball, where's the receiver, get that eye coordination on par with the NFL level wide receivers. If he do that, he would turn out to be a good pick. So all in all, still, I love what the Broncos did. I gave him an A+.
This is a good draft. John Elway needed one of these drafts to kind of restore faith out there, Bronco Nation. They get a B+. I liked it. Didn't love it completely, but listen, I'll tell you this. When I saw Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb both available at that 15th pick, you had no idea how much joy I had in my heart. We take Jerry Jeudy. I love it. You mentioned the route running. One of the evaluations I saw, best route runner we've evaluated in 20 years. So, hey, and obviously a huge need outside of Cortland Sutton. Wasn't a whole lot going on there at wide receiver. I didn't love that they doubled up at wide receiver immediately with the next pick, but KJ Hamler, great speed, and you got three guys you can trot out there for Drew Lock to have available to him in the wide receiver game. I also didn't love the next pick, Michael Ojemudia from Iowa, but I was looking for somebody more well-known, but we'll see how it goes. Also, it's a need that they had. They needed help at cornerback. They got A.J. Boye, but they needed more, and they got it. Lloyd Cushenberry, this is probably my second best pick after Jerry Jeudy. Connor McGovern left the free agency, went over to the Jets, so they had a need on the interior of that offensive line. And I think, listen, you got Mike Munchak out there coaching these guys up. I think Denver could have a sneaky good offensive line, assuming Garrett Bowles doesn't revert to holding penalties every other series. So we got to –
Wait, hold on. Hey, didn't y'all decline his option? He about to go out here and act a fool. He might be out here doing a forward shoulder roll all game long since you want to decline his option.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Look, McTelvin Najim, big defensive lineman. I like what Denver has in their starting lineup in that 3-4 defense, but I really like this. I think this is a really good depth pick, B+ for the Broncos. This is a very good draft.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Drink. I think it's one of my favorite drafts. Very second to maybe only Baltimore, kind of like a toss-up sort of thing. I really like that they went for it. They said, hey, you know what? This is where the NFL is going. This is where we need to go. We got a young quarterback. Let's go out and get this guy weapons. They said, hey, we're getting with the times. We're not going to let Kermit the Frog in Hawaiian shirt over there in Kansas City be the ones that light up the scoreboard in this division. We're going to do it too. And I love that. You get arguably the best wide receiver in the draft, almost halfway down in the first round, and you don't have to trade up to get him. You come back, you double up at the position with Hamler, and like you already kind of broke him down. I mean, but it gives you like a perfect mix because now you've got Judy, the do-it-all guy. You've got Cortland Sutton, the big body, big frame, red zone threat. And then you've got this elite playmaker in the slot, in the backfield, running jet sweeps, whatever you need. So you kind of have all your bases covered there. You throw in Melvin Gordon. You throw in last year's first-round pick at tight end that should be coming back and getting better. You improve your offensive line with Lloyd Cushenberry and Natay Moody. Like, if Drew Lock progresses at all, this is a dangerous offense that they're building here. And like you said, you can't sleep on a guy like McTelvin Ajim or Justin Strnad either. I watched a good bit of Wake Forest, not a good bit, but I've seen several of their games, and he always kind of stood out on film. I do see him at least once a year, and I'm a little bit more than that. And he was always a guy like he kind of said with Murray, like we were like, oh yeah, that guy's making some plays, yeah. So he might be kind of a sneaky good pick, and a game could definitely work into that defensive line. And he's kind of a raw prospect, but I like that because, like you said, that the defensive line is pretty good right now, so you're going to give him some time to get better. So yeah, overall, I couldn't find much not to like about the draft. Like you said, the corner issue is the one thing you maybe point to, but overall, I gave it an A+. Oh, this was about as good as it was going to get.
Hold on, Cody. I gotta ask you this. So, how much Wake Forest football you watched this year?
I watched, at least 2 of their games. I mean, they play Florida State every year, and then I want to say I watched North Carolina game.
You ain't go to slide in some. I watched a lot of Wake Forest, but nobody.
I corrected myself. I know. Well, they were better. They had Jamie Newman, and they were winning some games. They were like 7-1 at one point.
I'll tell you one thing. I know he watched more Wake Forest football than basketball.
Yeah, I ain't watching any of their basketball. All right, Jay, let's wrap it up with the Super Bowl champ Chiefs. What'd you think of them?
Chiefs get a B-. It's just the Chiefs are this one team where they could have drafted us, all 3 of us, and they still be fine. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's one of those situations where I'd probably have him maybe the 3rd or 4th running back in this class, and they had him as the first running back off the board. It ain't even gonna matter. I think it's a very good fit in this offense. I think he's got a lot of versatility. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes in this offense. But he's also proved this is a guy. When we looked at him against Alabama, he was putting in work against that Alabama defense. So there's a lot to like with that pick.
Who wasn't putting in work against the Alabama defense?
Yeah, that's true. One other pick I had in mind, Lucas Niang, offensive tackle out of TCU. Kansas City's fine at offensive tackle, but I think this could be a signal that perhaps they may be looking at grooming a replacement for Eric Fisher down the line. I think that's one of the things to keep an eye on. But other than that, this is solid, but nothing that just says, oh, this is great. This is solid, B-.
Yeah, I went with an A-. I love what the Chiefs did. Listen, they didn't have a whole lot of picks, so they got these money's worth with the picks that they did use. Just like Jay said, I don't think many people had Clyde. It was very high as far as the running backs. I think we seen the likes of Swift, the likes of Dobbins coming off first. But, hey, we said the same thing with the wide receivers. So some was cooking. They took Edwards-Helaire, the running back out of LSU, 32nd overall. Look, just like Jay alluded, not just against Alabama, but most of the games he played this year, his ball security was outstanding. He don't fumble a lot. He's very low to the ground. He's going to take you for a ride. Hey, pay your 60 cents for this bus ride up to the next stop because that's where we're going. And one of the underrated things about him is he makes tacklers miss in the phone booth. He got that pat and spin move, Sports Center ready. He's going to put you on there, top 10. And so I think the reason he came off the board so early for the Chiefs is he reminds Andy Reid, he reminds the GM of what they used to have in the past. They think this is the type of running back that can unlock Patrick Mahomes to allow him to do more because he's outstanding out of that backfield. But listen, the one knock I got on him is this. He needs to work harder. He needs to up that commitment level at pass protection. Just because you're a small guy don't give you the benefit of not pass protecting. He's going to need to get better at that. This is not college. This is the pros. You come back there. If you come blocking like a sack of potatoes, they're going to run you over, put you in the pot, and boil you. That's all it is to it. He got to get better with that. With the second pick, Willie Gay Jr., the linebacker out of Mississippi State, they took him with the 63rd overall pick. Look, he is very good at reading the quarterback eyes, and he jumps passing lanes like the best of them. Now, that's a positive and a negative. I think that's a negative just in case if he does it the wrong way, that's a touchdown. That's a sign to him deliver touchdown. And as a tackler, he finished what he starts. He's not a guy that usually he goes for the tackle and then he gets stiff arm and he's rolling down the field like a tumbleweed. No, he tends to, when he get his hands on you, he's going to hang on you. If you're big and strong, like if you're Derrick Henry, you might take him for a ride, but he's going to hold on to you till the cavalry come to help him out. So he's not scared to get in there and get into the action. But my knock on him is he has a very delayed trigger a lot. So he'll see the play, wait. By the time he engages, the play done passed him. Listen, you got your processor got to be faster. You got to update, all right? You got to go ahead and go to the software place, update the software, get some news. You got to keep it moving, but Windows 95 ain't going to work in this era. You got to be able to process a lot faster. And then with the third pick, Lucas Name, the offensive tackle out of TCU with the 96 pick. Look, I like the way his hands and hips work in unison. He seems to have very good balance. He's able to pick up twists and blitzes real well because of the unisons. I like to see that. And just like Jay said, if he is going to be the heir apparent to Eric Fisher, he is going to be replacing the guy that did some things. You ain't out here replacing Cam Fleming, all right? So you're going to have to be able to come in and make some things happen. My knock on him is his punch hand need to be more accurate. He needs more sharpness. A lot of times he done missed, and he'd have been put on his face, and then the edge defender just go on in there and get them a young sack or Ruski, or at least drive the quarterback out of the pocket. He's going to need to get better at that. And I think it's a hindrance that he has that type of problem while playing in the Big 12, a conference that's not really known for defense. So now you're going to the NFL where everybody's getting paid to play defense. So that's definitely something to look at. So overall, I gave the Chiefs an A-.
Yeah, it almost seems criminal that the Chiefs wound up getting Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, I feel like his stock was ascending all the way up until draft night. And when I heard his name, I expected DeAndre Swift. But when I heard it, I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Oh, crap. He's going to be really good, guys. And, I've read these hot takes in the wake of where they're like, maybe he's not a good pick because, like, he's going to force them to use a running back more. That he's going to mess up their offensive flow. And I'm like, come on. Are we kidding with this? Like, we better be, right? The Chiefs are going to have no problem utilizing him. He's going to fit right into what they're doing, and it's just going to be another weapon and another headache that's going to keep some defensive coordinator awake all night before the big game. And yeah, this hit to me was absolutely great. Willie Gay is a guy that he's a big need. They definitely need help in the linebacking core. But you talk about measurables and like combine workouts. He had a lot of Isaiah Simmons in him. I mean, the measurables department, he was not far off. He doesn't have the instincts like Isaiah Simmons does, like you were saying, Drake. I think he's not really as polished. He needs that software update. I mean, there's some more going on. But as far as physicality and just being able to be that kind of like player that can move around the defense a lot, he's got a lot of that in him. So he should be fun for their defense. And then also highlighted L'Jarius Sneed out of LA Tech. He was another day 3 sleeper I had along with Tyler Johnson at Minnesota. The Chiefs definitely need corner help. And he's got that kind of build that the NFL likes in a modern corner. So you got some investment in the line of scrimmage. You got a weapon. You got defensive help. I like it. I gave him an A-.